Bill Teegins.
And welcome to the Eddie Sutton Show. An up and down week, I guess, for the Cowboys. A very tough, heartbreaking loss at Missouri, 72-70. But then on Wednesday night, Cowboys come back with a thrilling overtime win over number 4 Kansas. Coach, saw both ends of the spectrum this week.
Both very hard-fought ball games. We won the game against the University of Kansas, lost a tough one at Missouri. Both games could have gone either way. We've had a tough time with the Tigers, but so have a lot of other people. But the game with Kansas was probably very similar to the first game. Two teams that went after each other about as hard defensively as you're ever going to see two college teams play. It was tough to even get shots at times. The defense was so good that you had to handle the ball at long lengths before you'd even have a chance of getting a shot. And our players made some big plays at the end of the game and in the overtime to win the ball game, and it was a big win to allow us at least to stay in the conference race.
A win and a loss, but I think everybody would agree both the great games went right down to the wire. We've got some outstanding highlights to show you this week, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the Missouri Tigers. And welcome back to the Eddie Sutton Show. Coach, on Saturday last week, your team traveled to Columbia. We knew Missouri was a good team, and boy, they're playing real well right now.
I don't think anyone at this point in the season ever thought anyone would be undefeated, and Missouri is 10-0. I think we got them started here in Stillwater about a month ago by allowing them to escape with a victory. There's opening play. Bryant got stripped. Booker goes down and hits the basket on a breakaway, gets fouled, and they jump out on us. First half, we didn't play very well, Bill, not to take anything away from Missouri. They hit some big shots and executed quite well, but offensively, we turned the ball over 15 times in the first 20-minute period. The last half, we played much, much better and only turned it over 4 times, and just couldn't get the ball go down late in the ball game. A nice follow-up there by Fred Burley.
Yeah, that's an interesting place to play. It's not making excuses or anything, but the color of that place and the whole atmosphere is really different, isn't it?
Well, you have a feeling you're down in a hole, and because when you walk in, you know, the floor is way down below you. It is a little more difficult. I personally think that Allen Fieldhouse and Ahern, is it not Ahern? Is that what it's called? I can't even remember what.
Up at Kansas State,
Hearnes.
It used to be.
Hearnes.
Yeah, Hearnes here. Right.
And I think for us, it's the 2 toughest places. But of course, Missouri and Kansas always have 2 very good basketball teams.
Country also got into some foul trouble, and again, there Brendan comes off the bench, hits a big bucket.
We fought back here to 33-28 just before halftime, and then they spurted out on us and hit a 3 just before intermission, and they were ahead 40-28. Right here it is.
Well, they've got some really physical players, Missouri does, as we've talked about in the past.
Well, they're a good basketball team, and they're currently ranked quite high in the national polls, and they've won a lot of close games, and that's what it takes when you're going to win a league championship. And right now, Kansas and our ball club are tied 6-3, tied for second place. We're not going to count ourselves out. I know Roy, and talking to him yesterday, they're not counting themselves out either until mathematically you're eliminated. Kansas plays Missouri in Lawrence this Sunday, and I'll be very surprised if Kansas doesn't beat Missouri.
You've got to be really proud, though, of the way the character your ball club showed could really battle back well.
Well, they could have rolled over and played, dead, and they didn't. They did fight back. This game was almost a repeat of what happened when we played Missouri in Gallagher-Iba. We were ahead of Missouri 15, 17 points in the first half. Second half, we were still up on them, much like the game is right here. We were up, I think, 11 or 12 with 10 to go, and they fought back, and they were able to get the lead on us. In this game here, we fought back and tied the score and had about 3 or 4 opportunities and got excellent shots and just couldn't get the ball to go down, and we never could put any pressure on them.
Brooks with 19 points in the game. Great hustle.
Great hustle play.
Country with 23 points. And again, it could have been really a bad game because at halftime things didn't look good at all. But so many big shots, and you talk about the ones that won't fall, and that's so tough because you just never could quite get over that hump.
Well, we did get some shots, and our defense was good enough in the second half for us to win, and we hit some big shots like that one right there. But when we finally got the score tied with about 6 minutes to go, we just couldn't get it to go down. There's a nice turnaround shot by Bryant. And there's the score, 66-66, and we don't score another field goal.
Yeah.
The only thing we get from then on is free throws. So you have to realized that our defense was good.
There's one miss right there, and
good shot, just missed it.
Down.
That's Booker.
Boy, he's having a great year.
Having a sensational year. I would think he is one of the strong candidates for MVP in the Big Eight.
Pass inside to Country.
One thing that came out of this game was Bryant Reeves hit free throws. You know, he's been about a 53% shooter on the season, and in this ball game he hit his first 9 free throws, I believe, and then he missed his 10th. And Fred Burley makes a great hustle play, and it goes back up, and Fred is about a 79% free throw shooter, and I thought he'd hit both these. He hit that, the second one, and that ties the game and changed the complexion. If you hit that second free throw and you're one up, they can't go for the one shot, but we defend this play quite well. Booker, they're clearing out here side for him. They got a good shooter in the right corner. He's going to penetrate. They set a screen there, and Keani Roberts knocks the ball loose, and the ball rolls on the floor, and there's always an element of luck. That ball could have just easily rolled to Brooks Thompson, but it rolled to Thames, and he was able to get the ball up in the basket. Now it's 72-70, and we've got 2 seconds to go. We throw the ball in. Brooks gets a shot. It looks like it's going to be a Hail Mary shot like Brian hit here last year, and he misses it.
I thought it was going in from where we were sitting, but, you know, it seemed like that ball was on the floor forever before Thames could pick it up and just kind of rolled it over the rim. It was just a really tough way to lose a game.
Well, he made a nice play, and he was in the right place at the right time, and he's one of the outstanding freshmen we have in the conference. I believe in the game with Iowa State this week he had 23 points, so he really played very well this week as far as what he was able to do to help his ball club. We weren't discouraged coming out of this game, even though we lost, because there were some good things, and I told our team that they fought back. They allowed themselves an opportunity to win, just couldn't get the ball in the hole. Let's go home and get the Jayhawks, and that's what we did.
And that's what we did, and when we come back on the Eddie Sutton Show, we're going to take a look at some great highlights from Kansas and Oklahoma State. Welcome back to the Eddie Sutton Show. You talk about an intense game and a great rivalry, and it took place on Wednesday night at Gallagher-Iba. Kansas coming to town ranked second in one poll, coach fourth in the other. And
they deserve it. They're an excellent basketball team, and it seems when these two teams get together, because both teams play such fierce man-to-man defense, it's never a pretty game. But someone that understands the game of basketball would agree with me. This was as hard a fought a basketball game as anyone has seen this year.
Well, great block
Great block by Burley.
Fred, I thought in the first half, especially defensively, really played well.
Well, he had Scott, and Scott has been injured. There's the block by Burley. Taking another look at it. And he only played 10 minutes, and Scott fouled out. But while he was in there, Fred did an excellent job on Richard. Had a hard time shooting the ball. Fred was 3 out of 10 in this ball game and shot a couple of air balls, which I didn't think I'd ever see. I've never seen it in practice before.
Tough
Sometimes
shooting
you
for a lot of
play
people.
hard defense like both teams are playing. You have a hard time shooting because physically it takes so much out of you, and it's just hard to get open shots and clean shots. Now there's one right there.
Randy hits from the corner. Ostertag has really improved, hasn't he?
He's the most improved player in the Big Eight. He has given Bryant problems because of his size in the 2 games we played. There's a nice turnaround shot by Bryant. Bryant ended up with 9 rebounds and 16 points. There's a quick move. That's what we're trying to get him to do, is to turn over that right shoulder more and take that shot. And he has a tendency to want to turn over his left shoulder all the time. And defenses get to playing him that way. That wasn't his Bryant's fault on that play. Sometimes when he has to go help on a penetrating dribbler and the shot goes up, then somebody from above, a guard or a perimeter player, has got to rotate back and screen his man off. And I think that Ostertag got 2 or 3 tip-ins just as a result of Bryant's teammates not helping him.
You saw Richard Scott get the foul there. That was his 3rd of the game, and as you said earlier, fouled out of the game.
Great hustle play by Fred Burley. He got the tip in. This game went back and forth. And there is Pearson's 3rd foul going over the back of Brooks Thompson. There's another look at it.
I was going to say, Pearson played so well against us up at Kansas, and we did a good job on him.
He was 5 out of 5 from 3-point range in Allen Fieldhouse in the overtime game that Kansas won earlier this season. And last evening, we just did a heck of a job on him. He only had 6 points on 3 out of 7 and missed his 2 3 point attempts.
You know, it seems
There's
like
Keontae Roberts. Now, we're
move.
going to talk a little bit about him. He's been getting better and better and better, and a lot of our fans have been saying, when's Keontae going to get to start? Well, he did start in this ball game, and this is a great hustle play. Watch this. But I thought it was the best game that he's played since he's been here. He had 7 points, or 7 rebounds, 7 points, a couple of steals, played 31 minutes, and played very good defense. And he was the one that had Pearson most of the night. Good penetration, nice kickoff. There's Brooks Thompson. Very, very nice play. This is just before halftime, and we go to an intermission with a 30-26 lead. Fans were fantastic. Yeah, I thought they were so outstanding against Oklahoma last week, and I believe they outdid themselves in this ball game. Certainly played the part of the sixth man. Nice turnaround shot there by Bryant.
Roberts with the steal here.
No, I believe that was Brooks Thompson.
I think Keontae hit it
he
into
knocked it
Brooks'
away,
hand.
and Brooks picked it up. You ought to give each one of them a steal on that. And it led to an easy basket by Fred Burley. You can see Bryant does draw a crowd. When that happens, we tell him to kick the ball out to the open man. That's what he did, and Brooks Thompson hit a 3.
Kicks it back out. Here's Randy.
We like Randy a lot more when he's driving like he has done in the Oklahoma games and like he did in this ball game. That was a nice drive by Randy. And there's another nice drive by Keontae Roberts. Keontae and Randy are probably our 2 best drivers, along with Terry Collins.
Here we're tied 45-45 under 5 minutes to go.
That's Woodbury. Now, he's also one of the top players we have in this conference, and that's Richard Scott. You can see he set an illegal screen, and he was called for a foul.
Tell you what, if nail biters weren't your thing, great move there by Keontae. This was not the game to be at. It was right down to the wire the whole way.
My wife, Patsy, said after the game she was about as exhausted as any game that she's been to in a long, long while, and she's seen a lot of basketball games. Both schools, both teams, the coaches, fans that support the team can be proud of the effort that both these ball clubs put forth. And when the game was over, the thing that was neat, it was both teams knew they'd given everything they had, and somebody had to lose. And we have a great relationship with Kansas. Our philosophy is very similar to what Roy Williams teaches, and it was a hard-fought but a very clean basketball game.
Brooks' shot ended up sending it into overtime. You see Kansas miss, and we're right into the extra period right now.
Vaughn missed the last shot. We changed our offense here going to overtime, and we ran kind of an open post offense, and Randy got a 3, and there's Woodbury coming right back with a 2. Randy covered Woodbury and did an outstanding job. Woodbury shot 18 times and only hit 5.
How about this?
It's
Burley,
a great
the feed
play.
Here.
Give and go play. Fred dunks the ball over Greg Ostertag.
The crowd really exploded after that play. And how about Brendan Manzer, the job he did too last night? We'll see that. I mean, Keontae hits a big shot as the time clock goes down. Shot clock.
Keontae came of age last evening. This was a very, very intense game. It won't be any more intense than this in the Big 8 tournament or in the NCAA tournament than what it was last evening.
Manzer hits 2 big free throws.
Big free throws for Brendan. He came in there. We put him in because he is one of our best free throw shooters, and he came through like a champ.
Here we are getting
Got to
down
keep the ball in the hands of good free throw shooters in crunch time. Brooks had missed a free throw earlier, and I was happy to see him convert these 2. And at this point, we got a 4-point lead, and you don't want to foul a 3-point shot. They got to go for a 3. Good challenge here. Shots, they start to call a foul in Kansas, and Ed Hightower, the official, says the game's over. And big, big win for us. You see 2 coaches congratulating each other. How on great efforts, you're going to get an A+. We didn't play as well as we have been playing, but I thought it was a gutsy performance on the part of both ball clubs. The defense was so tough at both ends, it was hard to get good shots. And that's a big one tonight. You got Nebraska Saturday, okay? And I think everybody should be proud of themselves of the effort we put into the game tonight.
Brandon, I'm really happy for you because he's grown up here in Stillwater and he's a senior, and you went in there and those are free throws you'll always remember.
We're rolling. Let's go. We're rolling. Let's go. Beat Nebraska. 1, 2, 3. Beat Nebraska. Yeah, man.
Boy, nothing like two good teams going at it and you coming away with a tight victory.
You know, this is the greatest profession that you could ever be in when you win. And it's not really a good one when you lose, but you have to really celebrate the good times. And that's what I told the team. Go out with your girlfriend, get you a hamburger. We have curfew during the season. I said, get back to curfew. Tomorrow morning, wake up, get ready for the Cornhuskers, and that's a next opponent. And that game comes Saturday.
A great win for the Cowboys, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at some future plans for the academic side of the student athlete when the Eddie Sutton Show continues. Welcome back to the Eddie Sutton Show. You know, academics always come first at Oklahoma State University, and in this week's Off the Court feature, Tom Dorado takes a look at some future plans concerning the student athlete.
Much like any business, you have to keep up with your competition in this highly competitive world of college athletics. And that includes meeting the daily challenge when it comes to academics.
Well, that's right, Tom. We're looking to put together a facility that we can be proud of from a recruiting standpoint, but also a facility that will give us the opportunity to put all the student athletes in a first-class facility with the state-of-the-art technology.
I would assume that a good many schools within the conference already have a similar facility.
All the conference schools either have one or in the process of building one, so we're just really keeping up with the rest of the schools.
What will the price tag be when everything's said and done?
When everything's done, Tom, it's going to cost us around $2 million, and that's going to include a certain amount of money that we can use to endow, that'll cover the facility upkeep and also cover the utilities for the year. So we're planning not just for the present but for the future to be able to fund it, put all the technology that we need in, all the equipment we need, and still have something left over to cover the maintenance.
Most of us can attest to the fact that it is much tougher now to get a college degree than it was, say, 20 years ago. Throw in the time demands of athletics on the Division I level, and one can easily see how important an academic support center is to a major college athletic program.
Well, there's no question, Tom, that the student athletes today's time is very fragmented. And one of the things that we try to do as an athletic department is ensure the fact that we're going to do everything we possibly can to enable that student athlete to get their education. We have quite an investment in their scholarships, and we're trying to protect that. That's what we feel like this academic center can really do for us.
Has the site for this center already been picked out?
Well, actually, Tom, we've considered several different sites. We've come up with the best possible site is right over here outside this window. You can see between Gallagher-Iba Arena and the Wrestling Hall of Fame. We picked a spot there that we can put the academic center. It also can go into a long-range plan if we'd want to that would include an indoor facility. That's not necessarily saying we're going to build that, but it's part of a long-range plan. It would fit right in there if we needed. But that site is open right now, and as soon as we get the money raised, we want to start construction.
Dave, I don't think a lot of people realize that the existing facility won't be here much longer.
Well, that's true, Tom. Crutchfield Hall, where we're presently located, is scheduled for demolition. But one of the things we want to point out is that we're not building this new academic center because we don't think that we have good people already. We have an excellent staff with Steve Urias and the people he has working with him. But it's something that we want to be able to showcase that shows the importance that we put on academics with our student athletes.
Obviously, this is a bold step, but a step Martin feels needs to be taken at this time.
Well, Tom, one of the things that we did was we sat down with all of our coaches and asked them to prioritize the things that they'd like to see us do within the athletic department. And to the person, they came back and said that we need an academic center. We need it from the standpoint of a place for our student athletes to congregate. We need it from a place to show off some of the awards that they've won over the years, but primarily a great place to put together all the ingredients we need to have academic success at Oklahoma State.
As soon as I finish the season and finish recruiting, I'm going to be on the road going out and trying to solicit some funds because this is really a facility that is badly needed. We owe it to our student athletes. We want all of them to get a degree, all the young men and women that are here, and it's something that I believe in. So if there's anyone listening that wants to help in this project, call me. We got the Cornhuskers here Saturday,
right.
Big game, and then we travel to Boulder to play the Buffaloes on Monday, and on Big Monday on ESPN. So busy week.
Busy week, and best of luck to you, Coach, on that, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, Bill.
For Coach Sutton, I'm Bill Teegins, and we'll see you again next week on The Eddie Sutton Show.